Hey everybody, welcome back to a new video tutorial, and in this video I'm going to tell you how to configure PostgreSQL in your Django based projects. So if you're on Linux, what you're going to do is navigate to a bash shell and install PostgreSQL. So sudo apt install PostgreSQL and PostgreSQL contrib, which is the contributed programs that people have written for the PostgreSQL package. So you hit enter, it's going to ask for your password, hit enter. I think that's the wrong password, yep. And this will give you a list of the thing that your computer has to install. As I have already installed it, I don't need to do it. The next thing you would want to do is sudo -u postgres and psql. What this command does is that it changes the user to Postgres, and runs the command psql in the context of this user, right? So you hit enter, and this is the database shell that you're going to get. So right now, if you hit this and /l, this is all the databases that I have on me right now. I'm gonna hit Control L, and I'm going to create a database called create database tech rules, right? And oh yeah, tech rules. So this is the command that we're going to use. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Right, hit enter, and the database is created. So to connect to that database, we're going to do C /C and tech rules. As you can see over here, we type DT to describe all the tables. As you can see, we don't have any tables set up on here right now. So let's create a database connection first. So we go to settings folder. If you don't know why I am going to settings folder and not the actual project root directory where the settings.py file resides, I recommend you watch the previous video I did on distinguishing the development and the production environment. So we're going to edit the dev.py file, and over here we're going to change the engine. So we're not using SQL 3 anymore, we're using PostgreSQL. So this is what we're going to use, and we're just going to get this all out of the way. And the name of our database is TechRoos. Now what you're going to do is let's create a user, right? We have to define a user, and the user is going to be Postgres. The password for this user is also going to be Postgres itself. So let me just do that. Our host is going to be, excuse me, wow, I really cannot type. So this is running on localhost, and the port is 5432. I might as well enclose that in quotes. So we have our database set up. We go over here, and what this is saying is that you don't have the necessary modules to interact with a Postgres database, right? So what we're going to do is copy this and type in pip install PostgreSQL and we're going to install the binary. One of the things that the reason why I'm installing a binary is because most of the people don't have the dependencies or their dev library set up for their machines, right? So if you simply do pip install PostgreSQL, hit enter, this is going to compile the code and install it later. But sometimes what happens is that you run into errors which says python.h in C++ or C is not defined, which happens when you don't have this particular package not installed on your Linux system. So this is python 3-dev. If you want to install it, you can just go sudo apt install python 3 dev, right? This is going to install that. Give a password. I already have installed, so it doesn't have to install anything. Nice. So I run server again. Okay, this is the alias that I have for running a server. So this is going to run the server on port number 55403, which is I use for development purposes. Don't ask why. Run server is actually an alias in my bash.rc file. So if I navigate over here, this is and search for run server. As you can see, this is the run server alias over here. So if you don't know about aliases, I recommend you go read up on that. Anywho, we're going to run the server again, and as you can see, it says we have 17 unapplied migrations, so we're going to create migrations. actually we're going to migrate. We already have migrations created, and run the server again. It's running without a hitch. Refresh, it's still running, and we're going to pop up a shell. So I'm using PSQL slash -u Postgres. If that does not work for you, which it probably won't because you have to edit the configuration file. Wow, apparently I haven't edited the configuration file myself. Oh yeah, the username was incorrect. Anywho, we're going to connect to the database called TechRoos, and ask it to display all of the tables. So these are all the tables, these 10 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, right? So these 10 tables are defined in your Django project itself, so it gives you the option to authenticate sessions and a lot of privileges, user groups, etc, etc. So now we have it up and running. And yeah, this is it for this tutorial. You now know how to install your database, your Postgres database, in your Django project. So if you like this video, like it. If you dislike this video, dislike it. If you have any comments, questions, leave them down below in the comments. I'll answer them. And thank you for watching.